Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Talos Principle. This first half of the episode is going to be all post-commentary because the audio is just totally garbled. I'm just checking here to make sure that we've actually read everything in here, and we have. So, a couple things. We did A and B Star Worlds in this episode, post-commentary. Few come this far, but I believe we must seek out secrets of this world if we want to truly serve the generations to come. So I'm going to go through, again, it's going to be the sort of thing where, like, I'll show me, if I fail to do it correctly the first time, I'll show the first failure, and then I'll show the correct way to do these so that we don't take up too much time. This first one here, I actually attempt to complete this puzzle, don't figure something out, and then come back to it later, so I guess I'll count this as my failure, because there's no real way to superbly fail in this one. But in any case, you can use the fan to come into this one via an orthodox method, and there are some keys that are locked behind a gate there. And we need those keys to continue on in this level. So, as I figure out in a second here, the way that we want to get around this is by looking outside of here. So there is an axe, and over in this corner here, there are some wood planks, and I just put it together immediately like, you take the axe and you knock down the wood planks, and there must be something there. And then there's the jammer that you would have just seen there. Yep. What I don't realize, however, is that we actually need the axe in order to complete the rest of this, so I totally forget about it for a while, and I just am unable to do it. So we get the mine out of its prison, we go over and collect the keys, which, interestingly enough, these keys are unique in that they actually give you 2 keys to work with, because it's the only way to do this puzzle. You can see at the bottom, that one activation gave us 2 keys. Pay attention to this, because something later on is gonna get real wonky with me not having enough keys. So once you unlock both of these doors with that key set, there is a gun there, and I don't realize it at first. I keep thinking like, oh, okay, well there's gotta be another jammer somewhere. And I search around for a little bit, but I don't find the jammer anywhere. That's because it's not another jammer, you just need the other axe in order to complete this, but at the time I just didn't realize that you could use the axe for anything else because, frankly, the game doesn't really make much use of the axe in its gameplay. So I'm just sort of confused at first, and I'm like, do we just run past it? Because you can actually get into this little alcove without, activating the gun, but you can't get all the way to the sigil without activating the gun. So we will just come back to this one a little bit later because I don't realize that I can bring the axe in. I keep thinking like, oh, there's got to be a jammer somewhere around here hidden in the main area that I could bring in via the fan, and that's not how that works. Yeah. But in any case, we'll move on from that. We'll go on to Nerve Wrecker, which is quite a difficult puzzle. Not in that it's like hard to figure out, but it's hard to do properly. As you're going to see, I actually messed this one up over and over and over and over again because the timing it requires is like a little finicky at times, and like it is a little nerve-wracking. You just got to keep your cool and go at it one thing at a time. What I failed to do in this first one is you can actually lock out mines behind those gates. So this is how you're supposed to do it properly. You take your jammers and you're going to want to place them close to the gates so that you can get them as soon as you're done getting through. I actually mess up a little bit here, and I'm like, oh, I waited too long. There we go. We've locked... Oh, there we go. That was close. So we lock those 2 mines out, and we don't have to deal with them whatsoever. And so you have to continuously lock mines behind you so that you can go through the next area without too much of a problem. The next area is a little bit more difficult because there's no way to lock out all of the mines. You can only lock out 2 of the mines. So it's a little more complicated, but there we go. I've locked out that middle mine, and now I don't have to worry about the middle mine at all. I just don't. For this section, I jam one of the mines in order to create some barrier space so that I can move through a little easily. And then I realized, like, oh, I can just get rid of that other mine that's going to be a problem for me right now. Although, I think it bumps... No, it doesn't bump into that. And there we go. That mine's gotten rid of, and I don't have to worry about it in the section up ahead, which is nice. Now, all I'm doing is waiting, because we want to create some space between these mines. So, if we wait until that mine is all the way at the other end, then we can, like, go diagonally through them. So, like, right there, there's some walking space in between the two. And we want to do the same thing here. We want to jam one of these. Oh, you don't even need to do anything there. You can just go straight for the sigil at that point. So that makes it real easy. Woohoo! Okay, so all done with that one. Move. I go back and start looking for secrets because I'm like, really? Was it that easy at the end there? I didn't realize that you didn't have to do a whole other thing at the end, so I was just like, there's got to be something hidden here because there's a whole hallway, but as far as I know, there isn't. I still need to look at the comments and see if I missed something. The next one, Jam from Within, is fairly actually simple to figure out. It just takes a little bit of work to do. I think I don't even, like, I don't fail this once going through. So the sigil's here behind a locked gate, and in order to get there, we need a set of keys. So first things first, there's a jammer inside of here that's keeping the opening for you open. And you need to go through there. The only way to do that is with the jammer. However, the mine takes up the entirety of the pathway. So in order to do that, you're going to need to be able to open the side with this jammer and sort of essentially duck through the area. Again, you can't really take any of the jammers with you. They have to stay in their areas, which I think is an interesting puzzle because none of the other puzzles ever really dealt with that. They've always sort of been like, let's see how you can get the jammer to the next area. And, you know, if you've got 2 jammers, you can usually do that. But here, not really. So go through, set that up. Okay, next space. There's nothing really here, so we just take the ladder immediately. And now here, we're introduced to another jammer and another 2 mines and another 2 sets of force fields. So the idea here is that you want to get past these 2 mines so that you can access the keys at the end of the walkway. Actually, looking at this now, theoretically, you don't need the other sets of keys. You could totally complete this just by getting the keys at the end of this walkway. So why is the other set of keys here? Is there something I missed? Yeah, maybe. Because you can solve this without getting the other set of keys. Well, in any case, it's simple enough to remove a mine from the equation, and then you can just sort of put it right back into the other area. Just like we did with the Nerve Wrecker, you can sort of get rid of the mine so you don't have to worry about it. Just put it right behind there, and bam, you're safe from that mine. And we're going to do the exact same thing with this mine here as well. I'm just waiting for it to get back to us at this point. I was also not aware if that mine would actually travel the entirety of the distance, but it will, so not a problem. So we open that up, let it come through, and then we're just going to push it through there and not worry about the mines at all at this point. Let's go over here, grab my keys, and we're done with this. So theoretically, you could technically go back to the beginning and use the keys, but for whatever reason, I use the keys here. I don't know why. There's got to be something else in this area, maybe. Because, like, you could just go back at this point. Whatever. So one over here, this area, you just have to dodge the mines. You don't have to worry about anything else. I think maybe originally they had this extra key set so that you needed to bring keys from here into the other area, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. To, like, solve the first one, but that doesn't quite make any sense. Anyway, wait for these mines to come through the gate, and we don't even need to put them where they originally were. We can just leave them there and go back to our other side. Gonna wait for this mine, which conveniently I left this jammer right in the way, so that mine actually can't come into that area. Jam this, and bam, we're done with that area. And we grab this sigil. Man, now I'm thinking about, like, if something's hidden with that extra set of keys that you don't technically need. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, maybe there's something weird that you can do with an extra set of keys. And then I spend a little time looking around because I'm a little confused if there's how many gray sigils there are in this area, but it turns out there's only 3. And also that 4-star thing kind of confused me because I thought for a second, like, wait, are there 4 stars in this level? That wouldn't make any sense. And then I look around for the jammer a little bit that I think I need, and obviously I can't find it. So we're just going to skip ahead to when I think about it a little bit more. And this is after a couple resets. I realize, oh, well, I can bring this jammer over and do this normally, which I do. I'm going to grab the keys in a second. And pay attention, because something weird happens here. I grab these keys, and they only give me 1 key. Oh no, they give me 2 this time. Wait, I'm confused. Where did my other keys go? Do keys get taken away from you if you go through purple? They do! So I just totally broke it for myself there. I kept wondering, like, why did I lose my key? Why did it not give me 2 keys? I never noticed until literally just right now doing post-commentary. Apparently going through the purple just removes your keys, and there's no way to get keys back at all, whatsoever. But in any case, the idea here is you're supposed to take your axe and do something completely new with it at this point. You chop down these trees that are in the way. And when you chop down the tree, then the mine can go through its space and just continue onward where it normally is. Wow, that's insane. Like, going through the purple barriers gets rid of keys, and then you have to reset in order to complete it. That's really dumb. Well, in any case, you have to chop down both of these trees, and then you grab the jammer, you let it through, you open up all the gates, and then the mine will destroy the gun at that point. Look at that timing. Real good timing on my part. Go through here, and I'm like, okay. And it doesn't unlock, and I'm like, wait, what? What just happened? I had the key. And then it's like, yeah, it's locked. You need a key for this. It's really dumb. So anyway, I reset this in a second, and we're going to do it again. So I'm just going to pick up from where we left off, like after we had destroyed the trees, so that we don't have to do everything over again. So look at that. Tree's destroyed. That's done. Mine is going to come through in a second. Grab the axe. We're going to chop down this second tree. The swing doesn't really match where we're hitting it, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world. And then we just wait for the mine to come through, and it is going to go destroy the gun for us. And then I start thinking, like, oh, well, what else can we possibly do here? Because I can't fathom there not being secrets at this point because of how many Easter eggs and secrets there are hidden in this game. But this level is actually kind of simple, which is nice. Bam! And then we just go straight for the gray sigil. Then I start looking around. I'm like, ooh, can we use the axe to chop down these pillars? Because there's like a little beam of light right there, but it's just literally extra light that's hitting it. It doesn't mean anything. At least not as far as I could see. I thought like, oh, can we take an axe and chop it down? What else can we chop down with the axe? Because it's the first time we've been allowed to do this. It does make me wonder if you can chop down more trees in other areas. See, look at that. You can actually chop down every tree. But in any case, we leave at this point, and we're going to B now. So we go over to the B star world, and we need to open this gate. So it takes me a while, actually, to do this puzzle. Like, a really long while. I think, like, it's like a straight 7 minutes in the recording of me trying different combinations and failing. It's pretty bad. Because it's one of those puzzles that doesn't really involve symmetry. And so I got stuck in a lot of areas where I'm like, oh, I don't know how exactly to put things together at this point. It's more difficult than it seems, actually. But Eventually, I get there because, I mean, like, I gotta beat the game somehow, right? What if I didn't? Just didn't beat the game. It's crazy how, like, difficult these sections can become. There we go. And we move on into B, which I believe is styled Egyptian-like. So we're gonna look at the computer in a second. So I start to realize, oh, right, there's a pink can. I totally forgot about this. I've heard all the lady in the light had to say. I can't help but feel we have lost so much more than we have retained. I'm curious where the other pink cans are, because surely I have missed a couple. There's a star, 7 star, which leads me to believe, and I correctly, I think, figure out the mystery behind these boards. I believe that that is the code between all 3 star worlds for floor 6 in the tower. I'm pretty sure that's correct. So it takes me a second and I'm like, oh, it's 4, 7, and then whatever the last digit is, we will find in the C star world. So let's take a look at what's here. Orangutan.html. A medical journal has published a startling new theory about last year's sudden shocking extinction of the orangutan. See our award-winning video of the last orangutan at this link. They suggest that the new virus responsible was not a new mutation, but a very old one, an ancient virus buried until now in high-latitude permafrost set free by global warming. The virus may have been plagued but the ancestors of modern great apes more than 100,000 years ago. Several important questions remain unanswered, including blank, and more importantly, the study suggests, based on samples taken from locations around the globe, the incubation period may blip. If you like this article, you may also like how to really avoid heart attacks. You won't believe what's living under this rock. Top 10 amazing science facts. Oh, apparently I read it way faster last time. Yeah. The ancient poets animated all sensible objects with gods or geniuses, calling them by the names and adorning them with the properties of woods, rivers, mountains, lakes, cities, nations, and whatever their enlarged and numerous senses could perceive. And particularly, they studied the genius of each city and county, placing it under its mental deity, till a system was formed which some took advantage of and enslaved the vulgar by attempting to realize or abstract the mental deities from their objects. Thus began priesthood, choosing forms of worship from poetic tales, and at length pronounced that the gods had ordered such things. Thus men forget all deities reside in the human breast. Yeah. It's interesting. It went like in a full circle. We gave objects meaning by giving deities to them, and then went backwards. We gave the deity meaning from objects. It's working now. Each iteration is assigned its own unique name drawn randomly from the database. At the moment, that's a database of online gaming handles, which does sound a bit odd, but I honestly don't think we should spend more time on this. We have unique identifiers, so we're fine. More that this is a luxury we can't afford. If we should happen to have everything else finished on time, I'll go back and generate a new database with appropriate names. Right now, it just can't be a priority. Which explains why all of the other things that leave messages are all weird names. And then this picture, I believe, is to clue you in that the signs are to be used for the lift access. And then I look around for a little bit, but I don't find anything, so we're just gonna skip ahead to... Oh no, I guess I didn't cut this out. I start looking around, but like, if you go too far out, you'll get Elohim again, warning you not to move anywhere, and there's nothing behind this. Oh, there is something behind this. I never thought I would figure out how to get to this place. It is beautiful, but somehow sad. Yeah, there's not a lot of stuff hidden here, as far as I could tell. There's probably a paint can somewhere on the ground, but I don't think I find it. Or if I do, I think I cut it out by accident. Trying to save some time and get through all this, because honestly, I think we're going to be end up finishing the game in this episode. Possibly? Maybe? Depends on how terrible I am at the puzzles and C, which I haven't filmed yet at the time of recording this. It's the star C section, I mean. Then I start looking around and going behind here and everything, but if you go too far on this side, Elohim complains and will reset you. So, yeah. In any case, I leave behind searching for things for a little bit, and we're just gonna continue on to this first puzzle, which is Peekaboo. So Peekaboo is interesting. It's very, very similar to the first thing in the tower, except now you have 2 of these moving things to contend with, and there is a connector hidden back there, and 1 connector that we can get from using this copy machine. So first things first, we're going to open up this gate for us. Wait a little bit so that we can get access to this connector because it's hidden back there. We're going to go pick this up. And now we have a connector. And technically we have two connectors because we can make copies of it. So at first I think like, oh, okay, well this is simple. It's the exact same solution as the other one. You need to have two connectors here, both connected at the same time in order to power it at all times. However, the positioning of these connectors is very, very particular. And the first one I try here is in the center, and it doesn't quite work, as you'll see in a second. And I keep thinking like, oh, okay, well, this is probably the way to do it. And then you use your copy to step on the button, right? Because if your copy steps on the button, you should be able to go through the gate absolutely no problem. So we'll wait a second here. I was like, that should be enough. And then I noticed the problem that even with setting this up properly, they are perfectly opposed, so that you see how they're like sort of switching sides evenly. So if you have two things set, if you have two connectors set in the center, they will both get turned off at the same time, just from opposite ends. So you'll see here, boom, gets cut off. Boom, gets cut off again, because they're at opposite ends. And it's never enough time. So I'm going to skip ahead to me figuring this out. You need to have both connectors on this side, the side closest to the gate you need to move through. And that's the only way that you can actually do this puzzle. So once you set up those connectors, you can use the copy to open up the gate and wait a little bit for the power to go through on the other side. And once that power goes through, we're gonna leave and turn off our copy. Jesus, how long did I wait? There we go. So our copy sets up the extra one there. We run around to the other side, open it up, and look at that. Now it's working. And that's gonna allow us to get this first gray sigil here. And it's fairly self-contained. There's like nothing else here. Next up is merry-go-round. So merry-go-round is a little weird. It requires you to go back and forth a couple of times. So I did cut out a little bit of me trying to figure out what's going on. There is an emitter and a jammer over to this side, which we need to get through a lot of this, and one connector that we are allowed to start with. So the very first thing I do is just immediately connect this and... oh, I guess I look around, but I connect this here so I can get over to the other side. And immediately it's like, okay, we get a jammer. What can we do with this? I believe, yep, I jam that so that we can immediately take the connector with us, and we can use this to open up the next section. And then there's a red emitter here, and a red connector for the next gate, I believe, as well. Yep, a red connector for the next gate. I also looked around to see if there's anything there. So we need to keep going a little bit. Thankfully, I already brought this connector inside, which is going to be useful and necessary for getting through here. You can't actually do it with the connector in the center. It's just not possible. So set up another jammer here, look around, I'm like, oh, okay, so we need to get that connector here. The only way to really do that is to use that connector to power that portion. Although, I think I'm a little bit of an idiot and I disconnect my way to get through as well. But, you can see here that that's available to connect to. But then I'm like, oh crap, oh, I can't get through there. Right, so I'll just turn around and redo it again, grab the jammer back and set it up in a reverse position. Let's grab this jammer, keep this open for me. Go back and set this up over here. And this will allow me to get past that area. Go through to this side, and we get another connector. Now at this point, I realize, oh, okay, so we need the blue to get over here, and we use that blue to open that connector, and at that point we should be able to take the jammer through with us. You actually never need to use the red connector or red emitters at any point during any of this puzzle. It's kind of weird, right? Anyways, I cut ahead because I took a while to figure this out, but I realized, oh, okay, we need the blue to be over there, so bring this back with us. Or I guess maybe we need the red to do this portion here? I don't remember. But anyways, we're going to set up the first connector, which thankfully can go through a little hole that's here. Yep, it's visible from both sides. And just plop this down. So that's going to open up the far end for us. And because I kept the jammer here, we can get through no problem. And then we set up... Oh, okay, I guess you do set up the red once. Set up red, use the jammer to jam it. Oh, I think I messed up on the jammer part. So I set it up again. And then once we jam this, we can get both the connector and the jammer on the other side. Simple enough from this point. We connect this to the connector and use blue. So receptacle and emitter. So that opens up that gate. And then the last gate at this point has a red herring where it has a little blue thing, and it's like, I don't know if you can theoretically even connect that. I don't know if it's possible. In any case, if we really wanted to, we could get both color lasers to the entrance, but I don't really see a need or a use for it, so it doesn't really help us at all. At this point, I take a look around the rest of the level, but I didn't actually find anything after this. We cannot achieve the goal, the process on our own. We must find a way to help each other. From Barakiel, 10. Yeah, I take a look around, but I don't really find anything outside of here, so I'm just going to skip ahead to the next puzzle. So this last one is actually fairly simple, Cat's Cradle. I think it seems a lot more complicated than it is, but it's actually a very simple solution. There's basically two locked off emitters that exist on these two endpoints, and they keep these side doors open for each other. So there's a side door for a red emitter and a side door for a blue emitter. But if you were to use those to try and open this, and I think I'd try it in a second here, you would actually not be able to do it because the wires, or the lasers in this case, would crisscross. You can see, I'm going to try it now. I'm like, oh, okay, so you can take it here. Nope, can't do that, right? Because that blocks that off and doesn't give you red, and in any case, you would need to cross the red in order to do it properly anyway. So, not really a viable solution in this circumstance. What you do need to do, however, is get the other connector out of here. And if I were smart, I would have disconnected stuff. Oh no, actually you need to leave that open till the very end, don't you? I'm like realizing that, oh, those connectors are totally locked off and we can't actually get them out of there. Which isn't a problem, really. In fact, I think I'd sort of mess up this puzzle a little bit and end up solving it with 2 connectors instead of 3, even though they give you 3. And then I realized, like, oh, there's a blue emitter here and a blue receptacle. That's what we need to do. So, we need the other connector, which I grab here, and we can open up this back way. With that open, we get access to another connector and a red emitter, which we can use to open up this. And now the gears start turning, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I need to have that open in order to do it properly. But what we can also do is we can set up the first connector so that it's always open. And so that we can get an extra connector. You'll see in a second here. I'm like, oh, okay. So if I add that to the list of things that it works with, once everything opens, I can remove this without losing the blue. And now I have an extra connector. At this point, we need to get it past our 2 lasers, past those 2 lasers. This one can also connect to the final solution. And I realized, like, oh, I messed up the thing, but we can jump start it, no problem, because we have a 3rd connector. Everything's connected, everything's open, cool. So I also, I believe, try to connect this to that, but that's... Oh yeah, look at this. I don't think I was supposed to be able to do this. Because I am able to connect that at such a side angle, it's weird. And then the only thing standing in the way here is that. You do need something to press down this pressure plate at the very end, but that's what the box was for back here. So I just real quick connect this red to the side so that I can pull out this box here. And actually pulling out the box destroys the laser anyway, and I just end up using the connector to get through. And there we go. That's the last gray sigil in this area. So at this point, we're all done with gray sigils in Star Worlds A and B, and all that's left is to get the gray sigils in Star World C, where I'm going to cut ahead to me doing the door puzzle of Star World C now so that we get access there. And we're going to read through the last little bits. So again, all of this has been post-commentary up to this point. Actually doing the Star World C puzzles will be live commentary again through to the end of the game. So I'm sorry about all this. I have no idea what happened to get that crazy amount of distortion on it. Like, it's really not good to listen to. It's really, really actually horrendous sounding, and I don't want to put out a video like that. It's also why it took so long to do this episode. I'm sorry for those of you waiting for more Talos Principle. I just didn't want to put out like a really bad video and make it not a good series, especially because we're so close to the end of the series and I don't want to end it on a bad note. But in any case, we get this completed in a second. God, this one took me even longer than the first one did, to be perfectly honest. I don't know why it took me that long. Definitely not a case for symmetry here. Not at all. There we go. So that opens up that. We're able to walk through. And we're in Star World C, and we get the last billboard, which has ** 6 on it, meaning that 476 is our code for the lift at the end. But we still gotta complete the other ones and read what's on this terminal. So let's see. Some more stuff. Human eye. What is a man's eye but a machine for the little creature that sits behind his brain to look through? It is man's eyes, or it is a big seeing engine, which has revealed to us the existence of worlds beyond worlds into infinity. What has man made familiar with in the refinery of the moon, the spots on the sun, or the geography of the planets? He is at the mercy of the seeing engine for these things, and is powerless unless he tacks it on to his own identity and make it part and parcel of himself. Basically, we give meaning to things, because these things just exist regardless of us. One of our most fascinating aspects of St. Edwald's recent uncovered writings is his preoccupation with the finding divine truth in mathematical concepts, which at times borders on pantheism. He was, it would seem, particularly concerned with what we call tetraminos, seeing in them a reflection of the tetragrammation and the Greek word for God, theos. Their ability to form other shapes out of themselves symbolized to him the creator's ability to reshape the world without breaking laws he himself had established. Edwald referred to tetraminos as sigils, implying that they were a more truthful version of the magical symbols worshipped by heathens rooted in both the Abrahamic tradition and careful observation of creation. It is unlikely that these contexts were distributed, as they would have almost certainly resulted in charges of heresy. So it's interesting. They finally tie together why they're using the tetras shapes, which are tetraminos, and into this whole philosophical idea, using them as sigils, right? Because they can create other shapes, and therefore they're godlike in that aspect. It's kind of interesting. Preservation. I viewed with a mixture of pity and horror these beings training to be sold to slaughter or be slaughtered, and fell into reflections of an old opinion of mine, that is, the preservation of the species, not of individuals, which appears to be the design of the deity throughout the whole of nature. Blossoms come only to be blighted, fish lay their spawn where it will be devoured, and what a large population of the human race are born merely to be swept prematurely away. Does not this waste of budding life emphatically assert that it is not men but man whose preservation is so necessary for the completion of the grand plan of the universe? Children peep into existence, suffer and die, men play like moths without a candle and sink to the flame. War and the thousand ills which flesh is heir to. Mow them down into shoals, and whilst more cruel prejudices of society palsy existence, introducing not less sure through slower decay. I don't quite understand what this author's trying to say here. I guess he's trying to say like one singular man, or the human being species is the one that's going forward. I'm not quite sure what it's trying to say there. In any case, that's the last clue that we need those to open the tower. In any case, we're gonna continue on with pre-commentary now. Or I guess technically the live commentary starts now. Anyways, we're back in Star World A just to grab a couple of Easter eggs that I missed. First things first, there's a paint bucket right here. We're just gonna, no, just let me paint it. Meet me at the top of the tower. Sure, why not? And then also, I started cutting all of the bushes down, just because I was told to look through the bushes, and one of them has this area over here, which has a hidden mirror. Isn't that weird? Yeah, so I guess none of the rest of the game actually has mirrors anywhere, and this is the first time you get to see yourself as a robot, which I think that's pretty cool. On the other side, there's also like a little hidden alcove, but there's actually nothing here, so unless this like rubble is meant to be something, I don't know. But that can't go through there, so who knows? Anyways, I will see you guys back in Star World C. Okay, so here we go. C, the dreaded Star World C. We haven't even taken a look around here yet, I guess. I think we should do that first. Although I should be rather quick about it, because I technically only have like 30 minutes left in this episode. Or I guess we'll make this a slightly longer episode, because, well, I've missed the last two. Sorry about that. Anything around here? Oh wait, I've already been told that there's no Easter eggs to find. I guess I should just look around for normal things, though. Taking the sights. Oh, there's the paint can. Truth is hidden in these words, but it's up to you to find it. Read, think. What do you say? My faith has taken me to the secret place. Here I hope to discover a way of better serving others. Okay. Nexus. Ooh, I was told about Nexus, actually. There's a thing I could do once I'm done here. Alright. Ooh, I see the problem here now. Or not? Okay. Wait, what are we trying to get to? Because there's no receptacle. Is there? Am I missing something? Oh, it's right there. I'm like going crazy. Okay. That wants to go there. And then maybe this. Go to blue? Wait, that might not make sense. There we go. I'll take this with me. So... this, and then this gives us a jammer. What do we want to jam with this? I guess we'll go backwards, see what's back here. Fan, that's what I'm supposed to look down from later. But I can't take this with me. Why do I have an extra... Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay. And I guess we just jam this and walk through? I think I did something wrong. Because there was an extra connector there. Maybe I, like, ruined it a little bit. Okay, so I guess... Oh, I see. This one's, like, really self-contained. I don't know why it seems so easy. It's, like, weirdly easy, actually. Okay, so that connects all these, and then sigil. And then we can just leave? But what's the... Alright, what's the fan for? Okay. Oh, I get it. It spells Nexus. Herder. Why do we care? So whatever. Well, that's the last Easter egg of the game, apparently, so we did that. Don't have to worry about those anymore. No other stars to get either. Cool. All done that. And now here. Oh my god. There's so many of these moving guys here. That's annoying. Okay. And then we have 2 connectors, and we have the ability to get another connector. Let me guess. It's another one of these. Yep, it's another one of these. Alright. So that gets me another connector, which I guess I need to take over here. What is... Oh, that's why. Alright, well, technically I screwed that up, but whatever. Alright. So we'll start opening this one, I guess. Alright. So this gets me a box and another connector. Alright, I see. So one of these has to always be open. Oh, wow. Okay, I get it. And then we use the box to go over top of everything else in order to get us red. It might break in a second, but that's fine. That was fairly simple. Okay, we'll wait for everything to open again. Like, every now and then they break, but it's not that big of a deal. Especially once they open, they're, like, open for a while. Oh, I see. Huh. Oh, wait. Ha-ha! I just had to wait. Okay. Until the stars aligned. Okay. So we're done with Cobweb. I'm so glad I don't have to listen to those noises again. And now, Unreachable Garden. This one involves a platform. Oh, it involves copying. I hate the copy ones. They're so unintentionally convoluted. Alright, so we can get ourselves up there. There's an emitter. One connector. Oh, I see. Now we'll wait, we'll wait, we'll wait. And we'll set this up like right here. Come on, set it down. There we go, now we don't need the copy for anything. We can make a copy and connect it to that, I guess. Interesting, we can self-power this, possibly, with a copy. Unless there's another connector. Interesting, that gets us here. Why do we want to come down here at all? Oh, this is where we need to get this. Okay. So the copy we make opens this, gets us a box, and opens up another emitter. Okay. Oh! Because we have to take our thing in here. I see. So we'll open this. We'll use ours to open both of these. And that'll leave all these gates open. We don't even have to worry about that emitter at that point. Then we can do we want to send it up through there, I guess? Oh, wow. Okay, I think I get it. Maybe. No, I don't, but I need to see what happens if I continue on. This will give me at least a lot of time to work with. Alright, now that is permanently open, we have 2 boxes. Why is there an emitter on there? It's weird. Okay, now that I have a box, what can I do with it? So, get over here, grab us? Why do we want to grab us? I'm kind of convinced that we want to send it up and over that. Is that why we want to grab us? Grab this, our copy runs over here, picks us up, takes us over here, where we grab this, because the copy will be keeping this open. And then with this, we bring it up top there. And when we're up there, do we connect? Okay, and then when we're up there, we connect it to that, maybe. But then what's the box for? In fact, where did I put the box? Is the box just to like jump up here so that I can grab things? Okay, so we make a copy. The copy goes over here with the platform, picks us up. We ride on top of our copy, come over here, pick up connector, bring it here again, come here, drop us off on top. We set up the connector there to hook into that. Then the copy goes and nope, the copy can't do that. Because as soon as the copy takes that, it locks off this area. Unless somehow that connects as that? No, it's very clearly blocked off. Okay. Well, okay, so theoretically, now that we have the box, which I still don't quite understand why we needed the box. Now that we have the box, we don't need to open this gate ever. Yeah, this is actually more useless to us to have open. So what we do is we bring it back here, we turn it off, and then we restart everything, and we set up the infinite recursion again here. I think that'll work. I guess that'll work. I guess the one thing I need to see is, does this have a direct line of sight to what we need to connect it to? It does. So I could theoretically put one down here and have our clone make a recursion. And then we'd be good. Alright, I guess let's try to do that. Okay, grab this, come over here, wait. We'll get on top. And then go over here. We pick up that. We get brought back over here. We put that down and we set it up. No, we need to set up the infinite recursion first. Okay, well, that's fine. Almost there. Still don't understand the purpose of the box. I don't think we actually need the box for any of this. Yeah, we would set this up here and do infinite recursion here, but we need this to create infinite recursion. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because we can't get this connector again. Okay. Okay, so let's set up that again. Not a problem. Let's move this a little bit further out here. Okay, perfect. Visible. Okay. So we set up infinite recursion. I don't know why I keep calling it that. That's like, doesn't make any sense for what we're actually doing. Oh, god damn it. Ran out of time. Leave it there for a second. And then... Okay. And that's visible from there. Okay. Now that that's set up, we do the exact same thing that we did last time. We just actually use it. Okay. Seems super easy to me. Again, oops, I went to the wrong side. Not quite sure why you need the box? Is there a purpose for the box? We grab this, and then I bring us back here. We get on top, we set it up, and because that's all there, that's it, we're done. Because the sigil is right beyond that, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. I don't know. Alright, let's try this. Just gotta wait until we're here. Okay. Then we go over here, grab our connector, connect, connect. Yeah, I don't think the box was necessary. At least I don't think it was. Alright, we're all done. That's everything that we needed to do in the Star Worlds. So, let's go unlock the rest of the tower. Get the third ending. As far as the DLC, I actually don't have it. I own this game on the Epic Game Store because I got it for free there. Maybe one day I will go through and buy the rest of it and do the Road to Gehenna DLC, but that will have to wait because I don't actually own it yet. So maybe one day in the future. For the moment, we're just going to finish out the base game and leave it at that. Whew, boy. We'll see what happens. Okay. Here we go. So, 476 was the code. I guess I need to go to the first floor with a computer, and then I can go up to 6.
Attempting to track primary subject. Access denied. Query.
Also, apparently I was told that you can make Shepard go up, but he never did for me. I swear, I did that section multiple times. He never went past where I got to. It was really annoying. That's why I had to do it all myself. Maybe it was a bug, maybe I was doing something wrong or I didn't hit a trigger, but he just never moved from that one button. I don't know. Okay, device manager. Okay. Floor access control. Floor 6. 476. Code accepted. There we go. Here we go. And one last Tetramino puzzle as well. I have no idea if there's a puzzle on top of the tower or something else. Like, I legitimately don't know what's going to be up here. But let's find out. Secret third ending. No, I pressed 6. Where are we? 6 is underground?
My beloved
I guess that makes sense.
Few have given themselves so purely to my cause. Fewer still have learned so much of the mysteries of my garden. Therefore, you may choose to be elevated, to stand by my side and become my blessed messenger in eternity. But know that this is a sacrifice that cannot be undone.
Is this an erase your save game situation? I guess you can always undo it, because the game has the ability to do that. But it sounds like it's an erase your save game situation. I don't know how I feel about this. Oh, damn, we can't... Huh. Oh, it's like a flower. Interesting. Okay. Anything around here? Is this an actual ending? Like, what is this?
It is now time to choose your epitaph, for your body shall be entombed, though you shall not die.
Oh my god. Oh, we become a messenger in this one, even though we've unlocked the messengers? I solved this, damn it. Alright, I guess we're becoming a messenger. Choose how you would be remembered by those who follow in your footsteps. Turns out epitaph means you're dead. Made it to the Hall of Fame, eat it. Yep. We died. So we become a messenger.
It is written that there is no greater love than to lay down your life for another. But your sacrifice is greater still. For instead of resting in eternity, you have chosen to serve all the generations to come. They shall strive for greatness, and through you, they shall accomplish it. For you are no longer a child. You are my messenger.
Yep, so the third ending is just like a non-ending, I guess, because it's the bad ending, like the worst ending, really, I guess. Well, the first one's pretty bad. But I guess the second ending that we got, the normal ending, climbing up the tower, is the true ending to the game. This one's like a giant FU at the end, I guess? Anyways. That's all we got. Thank you all for watching, and next Sunday, will be a totally different game. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I'll figure something out. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye!